Let's get straight to the point. You can manifest this. I don't care how big it seems. I don't care how long it's been. I don't care how many times you've tried and failed. If you have the desire for it, it is possible for you. But what's really blocking it isn't the world or your past or even your current circumstances. It is the way you're acting. It is the way you're thinking. The way you keep telling yourself, well, maybe I can't have it. So in this video, we're going to break down exactly why you can manifest this, why it's already yours, and how to stop playing small when you were meant to create big things. Because it's time to stop acting like you can't manifest what you want. You 100% can, and I'm going to remind you exactly why. Hello, my beautiful superheroes. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Scarlett Grace. I'm a manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you manifest all of your heart's desires. So hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you won't miss any video that will change your life. Here's the truth you need to hear today. You can 100% manifest this. And I'm going to walk you through exactly why that is true and how to finally act like it. First of all, let's talk about the desire itself. If you have a desire, a clear, persistent longing, this is your confirmation that you can have it. Period. There is no debate. The desire itself is the confirmation. It's the proof that this is yours to have. Neville Goddard taught that desire is not some random thing that your mind comes up with. It's not just a random fantasy, okay? It is a seed planted within you by divine intelligence. And divine intelligence is not something outside of you that decides for you. It is you. You are a part of God, incarnated here as a human. But you are still part of God. Your desires aren't random. Your desires come from God, which means you have the full approval and support of God, God with a capital G, when it comes to these desires, because God and you are one. Your desires are God's desires for you. And if you find the word God triggering, that's completely okay. You can call it divine intelligence or the field or the universe if that resonates more with you. The point is that when you have a desire, that by itself is confirmation that it is meant for you, that you're destined to have it. It's already yours in imagination, and the only reason it feels like it's not yours yet is because you are still identifying with a version of you who doesn't have it. So, if you've been asking, is this desire meant for me? Or how do I know this is meant to be mine? Stop right there. You wouldn't even want it if it wasn't meant for you. You don't need a tarot reading. You don't need a sign from the universe. You don't need your best friend's opinion. You don't need to be a better person or work harder to earn it. The desire is the sign. Stop letting other people confirm what you already know deep inside. The only authority here is you. But here's the catch. When you're constantly acting like it is hard to get, when you're constantly acting like you don't know if you're doing it right, you're not being the version of you who already has it. You're still playing the role of the one trying to manifest it. And that role is what's keeping it out of reach. Think of it like this. If you already had the thing, would you be sitting there wondering if it's working? Would you be asking how long it will take? Would you be checking for signs every 5 minutes or looking for evidence in the 3D reality? No, you'd be living it. You'd be waking up in this new identity, feeling like someone who knows they already have what they want. The people who manifest fast aren't better than you, and they aren't more worthy than you, okay? They just stop entertaining the version of them that doubts that it's possible, and they train their subconscious mind to accept that having this desire is natural and normal. And yes, I know how tempting it is to keep looking for proof before you fully let go and believe. But here's the thing. You are the proof. You, with your desire. You, imagining it, feeling it, believing it. That is the only proof that matters. The 3D world is always a reflection of who you're being, not what's around you. It mirrors your self-concept. It mirrors your assumptions. It mirrors your inner state. So if you're acting like you're not the person who has it, you'll keep seeing evidence that you're still waiting. Now, let's really get into why some people stay stuck. One big reason, like we just discussed, is that they keep waiting for external validation. But there is another very common trap. But before we get into that, a quick note if you're manifesting a specific person. If that's your desire and you aren't seeing progress, I made something just for you. It's a free guide on the 3 biggest mistakes that keep people stuck when manifesting a specific person and what to do instead to shift things. The link is in the description below and in the pinned comments, so go grab it now. So, another common trap is acting like manifesting is a big, dramatic spiritual quest. It is not. Manifesting isn't some weird, elite, mystical ritual that only a chosen few can master. It's not something that takes 3 years, 3,000 affirmations, a masterful ability to visualize every little detail, 5 vision boards, and specific moon phases you need to align with perfectly to make it happen. You don't need to spend days meditating on a freezing mountaintop in your underwear. It's natural. It's your birthright. You're doing it all the time. You have been doing it constantly since the moment you were born. There hasn't been a time in your life when you weren't manifesting. Not one moment. Even when you were still in diapers, you were manifesting. Even when you couldn't yet walk and talk, you were manifesting. Even before you ever heard the word manifesting for the first time in your life, you were manifesting. Manifesting is as natural as breathing. Think about it for a moment. We hear about all those different breathing techniques, okay? How you should breathe when doing yoga or Pilates. How to breathe if you're a runner so that you can have more endurance or run faster. How to breathe to calm your mind if you're stressed. How to breathe during meditation. How to breathe to enter an altered state of mind or the state akin to sleep so you can imprint a desire or belief in your subconscious mind. And all of that is helpful and all of that has their place. But that doesn't change the fact that breathing is natural and normal and you already know how to do it. And in fact, you have been doing it since the moment you were born without even thinking about it. And if you never heard about breathing techniques or different ways to breathe in your whole entire life, you'd still know how to breathe and it would still happen automatically for you, continuously, your whole life. Manifestation is just like that. We talk about different techniques and all of them can be useful, but if one of them isn't working so well for you, or you don't really get how to apply it, that doesn't mean that you can't manifest. Or that you're bad at it. Just like if you don't get how you should be breathing during Pilates, that doesn't mean that you don't know how to breathe and you'll die from lack of oxygen. It doesn't work that way. You already know how to manifest. You have been doing it your whole life. You are a master manifestor already. You don't have to wait until you're healed to manifest your desire. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get rid of every single limiting belief in your whole life before it works. Your desires don't care how many times you failed in the past. You can decide right now that you're done playing the character who's still waiting and you're stepping into the version of you who knows you can manifest because you have been manifesting already. You're not trying to manifest anymore. You are manifesting. It's not about learning how to manifest. It's about manifesting something different to what you have been very successfully manifesting until now. If you're broke, then you're already great at manifesting. You have been manifesting being broke pretty successfully, right? It's just a matter of deciding to manifest being rich now instead of broke. If you're lonely, You already know how to manifest. You manifested being lonely. Huge success. Lasted years. Now you can decide to manifest being in a happy relationship instead. And how to do that isn't actually a grand mystery. We talk about changing our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, and our inner dialogue to manifest, right? So let's look at it from this new perspective we're talking about. You want to manifest having a lot of money constantly. And you know you are already a master manifestor. You have very successfully manifested being broke. And not just that, you have been so successful with this manifestation that you don't even have to consciously do anything. You just wake up in the morning, go to work, do the laundry, do all your regular things that you do, and you can rest assured that you will remain broke, right? It doesn't take any extra maintenance. You don't sit there trying to figure out how to make sure that you will remain broke. But now you want to manifest having a lot of money constantly. So you think, okay, this manifestation of being broke was actually a huge hit. So let me take a look at how I did that so that I can use the same method to manifest having a lot of money constantly. So you take a look at your thoughts and feelings as they come up during the day and you realize that, hey, turns out I keep thinking these specific things and they make me feel bad or limited when I think them. And also I keep identifying as a person who's broke. And all my plans for the future come from the belief that I'll still be broke next month, in summer, next year, 3 years from now. So that's how I've maintained this manifestation of being broke so easily and effortlessly all this time. So, if it worked so well for manifesting being broke, it makes sense to use the same method for any other manifestation, right? That's where you take that list of thoughts and replace them with the opposite. Because if, for example, thinking about how expensive things are and how you can't afford them reliably manifests being broke, then thinking about how cheap everything is compared to how much money you're making and how you can easily afford anything you want must manifest the opposite, right? And you already know which thoughts you need to catch and reverse when they cross your mind. It's the thoughts you had back when you were automatically manifesting being broke. Because you already know that having these thoughts running through your mind and feeling the emotions that come with these thoughts manifest broke. It's not some weird woo-woo theory. You already went there and got the t-shirt. Remember, you already know the method works for you. You used it to manifest being broke. So you already know beyond any doubt that it works super, super well for you. And that you can pull it off to the point that after a while, you don't even have to put any thought into it. It will run by itself and give you the same results all the time. It's just a matter of changing the focus. Before, you were using it to manifest being broke. You didn't consciously decide to manifest being broke, but because manifestation comes naturally, that's what you were doing. Now, you use the same method to manifest a different result. It is that simple. And it works the same for any desire. If you are consistently getting a result in your life and now you want a different result, then you already know how to manifest the old result. All you need is make an inventory of the thoughts and feelings and beliefs that manifest the old result so incredibly easily and consistently. And you use the same method just with different thoughts, beliefs, and emotions to manifest a different end result from now on. The only reason you get stuck is because instead of realizing that it is that simple, we think that it's a whole different thing and we can actually get it wrong or fail. So instead of just copying what already works for us reliably, we think we need exact techniques that we do perfectly and we hope that it's going to work. And we get trapped into an identity of trying to get something, trying to make things happen. You're scripting or affirming from the mindset of, I hope this works, or maybe this will finally shift things. Here's how you can tell if you're actually doing this. It's when you feel anxious after you do any manifestation techniques. Or when you constantly check the 3D to see if something changed. Or when you feel like you're still waiting for something to happen. That is not living in the end. That is being in the middle of the story. Living in the end means it already happened. The desire is already fulfilled. I'm already the person who has this desire, and it's easy and natural and normal for this result to be in my life. Think of it like watching a movie you've seen a million times. Even if a dramatic scene is playing, you're calm because you already know how it ends, and that cannot change. So ask yourself, are you embodying the person who already has the desire, or are you embodying the person who's hoping something shifts? Because here's the thing, scripting, affirming, visualizing, none of these are magic rituals. They are tools to help you move into a new state of consciousness, a new identity. Remember, when you were broke, you weren't trying hard to be broke or looking for signs in your 3D that maybe, just maybe, it's actually working. You're actually becoming broke. You didn't script daily to make yourself broke. You didn't sit there waiting to become broke. You naturally thought, felt, and acted like a person that's broke. You naturally made plans from the identity of I am broke and I will probably continue being broke. Neville Goddard never said that affirmations create or techniques create. He said consciousness is the only reality. The state you dwell in is what creates your reality. So if you're scripting, but still feeling like the version of me who never gets what she wants, you're not actually shifting anything anytime soon. Let's say you're manifesting money. Are you scripting from the state of I'm already wealthy and this is just a journal entry in my rich girl or rich guy diary? Or are you scripting from please let this work because I need rent money and I'm panicking right now? The same technique in two different states leads to completely different results. It is not what you're doing, it's who you're being while you do it. Here's the thing. You can't be the new version of you while dragging the old identity around. So if you keep thinking things like, I've always had bad luck with money, or this is taking too long, or maybe I'm cursed, what if I'm doing it wrong? Then what you're doing is you're reinforcing the very state that you're trying to shift out of. Think of identity like a coat, like an actual coat. If you want to be the version of you who has her dream body or his dream relationship or their dream business, you have to take off the old coat. If you keep wearing the I am broke coat, you can't wear the I am rich coat. It just won't fit. You can't wear I'm stuck, nothing works for me, and expect to get everything flows easily for me. You have to become the new version of you mentally, emotionally, and even physically sometimes before the 3D catches up. And no, it's not faking. It's claiming. You are not pretending to be someone else. You are remembering who you really are. Your identity is not set in stone. It is not even real. Your real identity is God. You are literally an extension of God that incarnated as a human here on earth. God contains every possible identity you can ever have. So whatever identity you had up until now, it's literally like a coat, like a costume you're wearing. You're not stuck with it. It's not your true self. It's a piece of clothing you can just remove if you're tired of it, and you can wear something brand new instead. When you realize that the old identity is not you, it becomes much easier to take it off and let it go. Listen, you're not Cinderella trying to become a princess. You're God who is wearing a Cinderella costume and now decides that, hey, let's put on Little Red Riding Hood instead. Your identity is not broke. Your identity is God who is wearing an I am broke costume and now decides that, hey, let's put on I am incredibly rich instead. That sounds fun. It is God who is wearing an I am lonely and never chosen costume and now decides that, hey, let's put on an I am chosen and incredibly happy with my soulmate in a perfect relationship costume instead. So now that you get this, let me explain how to figure out if you're stuck in waiting mode or if you have successfully planted your desire and your new identity in your subconscious mind. It's actually pretty simple. Do you believe that what you want is already yours, regardless of your external circumstances? If the answer is yes, then your subconscious mind has accepted it as real and true, and you're going to see it manifest in your external reality. If the answer is no, then I have a second question for you. Do you believe that it's truly on the way to you right now? So let me explain this, because I know that those of you who know the concept of living from the end well will get confused by this one. There is actually two different versions of it's on the way to me. And one version guarantees your manifestation, while the other is just forced positive thinking. Here's the difference. If you have to keep affirming that your desire is on the way to you because you keep having intrusive thoughts about how it's so difficult or improbable for it to ever happen, then you're trying to force it, which means your subconscious mind hasn't accepted it as real yet, and that is why it hasn't manifested in your physical reality yet. But there is a second version of something is on the way, and that one feels very different. Forget about manifestation for a moment. Let's say that you've booked a flight and the plane departs in 3 hours. You're at work, you're about to clock out in 30 minutes, and someone calls you to ask you out to lunch. And you say, I'm on the way to the airport right now. Now, you're actually not on the way to the airport yet, and you know that. You know that you will still be at work for 30 more minutes and then you'll be on the way to the airport. But when you say, I'm on the way to the airport right now, it's because you are fully convinced that this is going to happen. You are going to go to the airport. So let's get back to a desire that many of you have tried to manifest so that you can see how there's actually two versions of something is on the way to me and why one manifests just like living from the end does, while the other one doesn't. So let's say you want to shed 40 pounds and you have a best friend who also wants to shed 40 pounds. And both of you say and affirm, I know I'm on the right path to shed 40 pounds. I will have lost all the weight in the next few months. You're both using this as an affirmation to shed the weight, okay? And technically, that statement is not coming from the end. It talks about how you're on the way to something. But your friend is actually convinced that she has a very slow metabolism. She has been using that affirmation that I just mentioned, but deep down she believes that she has a very slow metabolism. And she has been on diets before and they didn't work for her. She even went on a diet once where she followed everything perfectly. And you know what happened? She ended up gaining weight instead. So she doesn't believe that staying consistent with her diet and her workout plan is a guarantee that she'll ever shed the excess weight. Now ask yourself, do you think that this person saying, I know I'm on the right path to shed 40 pounds, I will have lost all the weight in the next few months, is actually living from the end and has convinced their subconscious mind that this result is truly happening as we speak, that they are on the right path? The same way that the person from before believed that they will be on the way to the airport when they said, I am on my way. You can probably see how they actually still believe the exact opposite. So this version of believing that something is on the way actually implies that it's on some vague point in the distant future, and that future may never come actually. So when this person says, I know I'm on the right path, I'm on my way to losing the weight, this is actually forced positive thinking. It is not an affirmation that will work because there's so many other beliefs in the background that we're not addressing that imply that this person hasn't planted this desire and this new identity in their subconscious mind. So this is a type of on the way, something is on the way to me, I am on the way to my goal, that doesn't actually manifest. It is not the same as living from the end. But then there's you. You have the exact same goal as your friend. You use the exact same affirmation that implies that you're on the right path, you're on the way of achieving something. But you haven't been on diets. So you haven't ever had to experience a diet where you restricted yourself and ended up gaining weight instead of losing weight. You don't believe you are 40 pounds lighter right now, so technically you're not living from the end. But you actually believe that if you stick to this program, then you're going to get results. Eventually. That if you follow it this week, even if you see no difference in the mirror, you will definitely have lost some weight. When you weigh yourself, you will find out how much, even if it doesn't look like you did yet because you have a lot of weight to lose. And that if you stick to this program, even if it ends up taking longer than you would expect or like, you're definitely going to be 40 pounds lighter in the end. You truly believe that you are on the path to shed 40 pounds, just like your affirmation says. So, have you convinced your subconscious mind that this is true? Yes. So it will manifest in your reality. Even though you're technically not living from the end, you are living from the end of what I'm doing is giving me the results I want. That's why it works. And I know this was a long explanation, but it's something that a lot of you have asked me about. So I wanted to give you a way to check if your subconscious has accepted whatever belief, thought, or desire you want to plant in it. And that is how you check. But what happens if you have been doing all these things and you check after a month or 2 months and it's obvious that you haven't convinced your subconscious yet? In that case, everything you have been doing still applies, but what you need to do is you need to remove the resistance of your conscious mind so that you can convince your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind has no opinion. It accepts what you put in it with no questions or judgment. It's your conscious mind that acts like the gatekeeper, accepting things that are in line with what it believes and stopping things that you try to plant when they don't match what it believes. So if you haven't convinced your subconscious mind after a long time of trying, you need to put the gatekeeper to sleep for a while so that you can access the subconscious without any interference. How do you do this? You do this by using altered states of mind. Things like hypnosis, self-hypnosis, visualizing in a state akin to sleep, or listening to sleep meditations or affirmations recordings right before you fall asleep, and also during sleep. Right before you fall asleep and immediately after waking up in the morning, you're naturally in an altered state of mind where your conscious mind isn't that active, and it won't interfere as much when you try to plant a new thought or belief or idea into your subconscious mind. So, play your imaginal scenes over and over when you are in a state akin to sleep. Or choose one affirmation that sums up the result you want to see in your physical reality. And it doesn't have to be big or complicated. It can be something like, I am wealthy, thank you. Or it can even be one word like wealth or abundance or love or married, But you choose one affirmation or one word that sums up what you want and you repeat it over and over as you fall asleep. Or you can make a recording of your affirmations and play it on repeat as you fall asleep or immediately after waking up in the morning, and that will get you your results much, much sooner. If you want a meditation that will help you not just get amazing results in every area of life at the same time, but also plant new empowering beliefs in your subconscious that will then allow you to get any manifestation you want much faster than before, then click on the video that's on your screen right now, because it's a very powerful meditation I have created for you that will do exactly that. And I'll see you in the next video.